Peace and love, creatives. It's Sketchbox time. Let's get into the box, shall we? First thing I pull out is the sketch pad and the artwork, which is very enticing because I love me some coffee. And then I just pull out the whole entire package. We have something called Rockwell, and I'm guessing it's Canadian because it has like the maple leaf. We have a paintbrush, a Karen marker, it looks like an acrylic paint marker, a 4B pencil, a alcohol marker in the color caramel, and the sticker, and a Derwent drawing pencil. This is the artwork made by Sarah Mason, and there's all her information. The paper that we have is Paint On Pad, and it's perfect for mixed media. It's absorbent, and really it's a neutral color, and it's 4x6 with 15 sheets. I was curious about this, so I just wanted to see what it was because I honestly didn't know. I figured it was paint, but I wasn't sure. And then when I open it, it doesn't say what kind of paint it is. So I went into the leaflet and figured that it found out that it was watercolor. We'll get into that. I'm opening up the alcohol marker, and you see how I twisted the cap to get that plastic off. That's the easiest way I find to get that plastic off. And I just wanted to show you. That's why I left that in. So this marker has a brush tip and a chisel tip, and it's in the color caramel, like I said before. Now this one is the Pigment Real Brush by Karen, and I've honestly been very curious about these. It has like a real bristle brush tip at the end, and I'm not a fan of their acrylic markers with the brush tip, to be honest with you. So I was curious to see if these were any better. And then we have a Sketchbox Signature Quill brush in the size 2. It's a fluffy brush that can hold large amounts of water for delicate washes or dynamic marks. Its unique form factor allows for minimal brush strokes and unique watercolor effects. We'll get into a little bit more of that brush when we get further into the video as well. We're just going to try out the supplies that we got in the box, and the first thing I want to try is the Derwent pencil, which these Derwent drawing pencils are amazing. I actually love them so much, but I'm not sure what they wanted us to do with this color on this paper. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great pencil. I wasn't crazy about the color selection for the paper, but I'll take it. The brush marker, the brush alcohol marker by Sketchbox, it felt really nice. I only used the brush portion of it, not the chisel, and it really went down nice on the paper. The 4B pencil is a very soft lead, and it's nice. I like it. It's very smudgy and makes dark lines. If you don't like that kind of pencil, then this is probably not the pencil for you. Now the colors on these watercolors are, one is Espresso and the other one is Americano. The first one that I put down was the Americano, then this one's the Espresso. And I write the names on them eventually, but I was like, I wonder if they smell like coffee. And the answer is yes, they smell like coffee. And I'm just going to read you the little blurb that Sketchbox tells us about this company. It says, this innovative watercolor is crafted from genuine coffee and provides deep, rich colors with exceptional light resistance and clarity. And let me tell you, I was already ready to like make some kind of art when I received the Sketchbox. Like as soon as I got it, I just opened it up and started, filming and wanting to make art. But when I smelled the coffee from these watercolors, the inspiration just like struck. Like, what am I gonna draw? I don't know. And then as soon as I smelled the paint, I was like, yep, I know what I'm gonna draw. These are so innovative and cool, and I'm like, I had no idea that there was such a thing as coffee watercolor. I've seen people paint with coffee, but I've never seen actual watercolor paint. So it was really cool to see. And I mean, these are the reasons why we get these kinds of mystery boxes, to be not only inspired or get a little bit of like inspiration basically, but also to find new and different supplies that you wouldn't usually gravitate towards because of maybe where you live, or because you're usually just stuck on one medium and you don't really branch out. These mystery boxes do just that. They help you branch out into a medium that you might not know about, or a medium that you're very familiar with, but a new and innovative way that this medium has been made. For example, this coffee watercolor, which is just great. And now these colors are gorgeous. I knew it was going to be gorgeous once I knew the smell, because if you drink coffee like I do, or if you've seen coffee, you know that the colors that you can get from different styles of coffee, like with milk, without milk, and certain things added, you get these rich, beautiful browns that you can play around with. And it did not disappoint. The browns you get from these colors are gorgeous. But also, I'm using the brown on a mixed media paper, and I am definitely going to play with these on some watercolor paper, because I guarantee you the effect is going to be different. I recommend you do the same, because you're going to see a difference in what you can get out of the watercolor if you did that. So here I am, just inspired to already figure something out, and I just wanted to see if I used the Derwent drawing pencil first and then put watercolor on top, if it kind of like did an effect where it didn't put color on where I used the pencil. Is that making sense? I know you know what I'm saying, like, if I put the color down, will the paint just kind of like resist? Like make a resist. Yeah. And for the most part, it did do a kind of resist because of, I guess, the waxy formula that Derwent has used in these pencils. But it wasn't as pronounced as I thought it would be. So I kind of didn't go anywhere with that in my original, in my illustration that I end up doing. As far as this paintbrush is concerned, the range of brush strokes that you can get with this humongous paintbrush is just like, it's very, you don't really realize it. You know what I mean? Like it's a surprise if you're not used to using these watercolor brushes. You can get like a very, very thin line with this paintbrush, or you can get a very thick, beautiful line. It holds so much water. You can cover a whole entire page, or you can make delicate petals on a small portion of your page. Like, the range with this paintbrush is just, it's really fun. And I think you're going to enjoy playing with it. Here, I'm just trying to figure out how to incorporate these light colors on the paper that has been provided to us, because they're all neutral colors and you kind of don't really see them depending on how you put them down. So here I'm just sharpening the pencil and showing you how you can sharpen this pencil, because this pencil has a triangular shape to it. So putting it in a normal like metal small handheld sharp, like the hand sharpener, is probably not going to be the best way to sharpen this pencil. So I just gave you alternatives as to how to go about sharpening the pencil if you were curious. And I ended up going to my kitchen and getting my coffee maker, which I love using this coffee maker that I have. I've had for years. It was actually my grandmother's, and every time I make coffee in it, I think about my grandmother and, you know, all the times that we spend just chit-chatting with a cup of coffee. It also takes me back to a time where I was just a little girl and all the older ladies would sit down and converse and drink their coffee. The house would smell like coffee and pan con mantequilla, which is bread with butter. But it was like this delicious Cuban bread. Oh my God, that we got from like the corner store. Delicious. But then once the ladies all drank their coffee, they would go to the stove, turn their coffee cups over, and read their cups. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And I always wished that I knew how to read a coffee cup. And I'm not sure if it was just them just making things up what they thought they saw in a cup, or if it was something that required a little bit more ingenuity, talent, know-how kind of thing. But all in all, either way, it was always something that I wanted to do and always fun to watch and hear them talk about, you know, like, oh, new things are coming for you. Oh, I see the lotto numbers in the cup. And it was just always so fun. You know what I mean? If you or your family have done similar things with coffee, I would like to know. Share it in the comments. I think it's pretty cool. The conversation that you can have with just drink, you know, having a cup of coffee with someone. And because I was having so much fun, I decided to make another cup of coffee drawing. And you know, you make the coffee maker, you need to make the cup of coffee that you make. Now this coffee has cream or some kind of milk or anything or something in it, and it's not usually what I would drink. Honestly, I drink black coffee. I don't put anything in my coffee unless I'm making like a coffee with chocolate in it, and that's a whole nother thing. If you've ever had coffee with like a hot chocolate mix in it, it is divine. And if you've never had it before, try it. You will not be disappointed. Get out a Swiss Miss hot chocolate packet or, you know, something to that nature. Throw it at the bottom of your cup. Make yourself an espresso coffee and enjoy. A little splash of milk, not too much. It's just divine. Anyway, I just go back and forth with the art and, you know, just refine lines and, you know, add little embellishments and all that. But with the paintbrush here, this is what I'm talking about as far as the fine lines that you can get with this paintbrush. It is amazing, the line work you can do with such a large brush. If you've never had this paintbrush in your arsenal, you're in for a treat. This paintbrush is definitely a fun paintbrush for watercolor and loose paintings like that. You're not going to be able to use this for like acrylic paint or oil colors. This is not for that kind of media. I kind of messed up with the eyes here, and I winged it because Bob Ross, you know what I mean? Happy accidents. So I didn't want to do the same old eyes closed, kind of feeling. So I was like, you know what? Let me do the before you have your cup of coffee look, which is like, please, coffee now. And that's what I did here. And I think he came out as good as it's gonna come out. I kind of wish I didn't put this background in because I don't know. I feel like I lost the steam, but it's okay. I'm okay with it. It was just a fun little play around with these new art supplies that I love. This, like, it was a very light box when I first received, like, took the box from the mailbox, but wow, is it jam-packed with fun supplies. And I love everything about this box. This box is staying with me. It is not going anywhere. Beautiful. Let me know in the comments if you are a subscriber with my channel, or if you're a Patreon, if you want some dots of these watercolors, I am more than happy to make some dots for you. So leave it in the comment or message me over in Patreon and I'll get that for you. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.